everyone, this is my weekly vlog and I am going to be talking today about the sort of things that you need to think about when you're booking a trip to Disney, and this one's going to be travel. So there are several ways you can travel to Disneyland Paris, and the first thing we're going to be talking about is by car. So the first option for travelling by car is to go on the ferry. Now, P&O ferries is the popular one to go on, and P&O are the people that are very famous for doing cruises, but their ferry crossing on the channel is a really good option to take if you're wanting to use your car. The journey takes about an hour and a half, and it's from Dover to Calais. There's plenty of things to do on board the ship, like restaurants and shopping and play areas to keep the children amused and all that sort of stuff. If your party has to travel a long way to get to Dover in the first place, it's a good chance to get a bit of a rest before the onwards journey to Paris, and it's also a really good thing if you want to have the comfort of your own car. And the same thing for the second option. So the second option is Eurotunnel. You go from Folkestone to Calais on the Eurotunnel. You drive through French and British customs before you board the train, so you can just drive away straight away once you've gotten off the train. There are shops and restaurants at the terminal on either side, and the journey only takes about half an hour, perhaps 35 minutes. The thing that we love most about travelling on the Eurotunnel is how quick and easy it is, and you can use your Tesco Club Card vouchers to pay for your journey. It's a really good thing to do if you're a person that shops at Tesco a lot. I know not everybody has a Tesco nearby, so it's not that suitable for everybody in the country, but Tesco obviously is a very popular supermarket, and if you do collect your club card points, you can use them to buy your crossing across the channel. If you take the ferry or the Eurotunnel, you'll end up in Calais, and the journey from Calais to Paris is about 3 hours from there. It doesn't actually feel like a very long journey if you're doing something like singing Disney songs, like my family would be. It's mostly motorway, so it's quite an easy, straightforward trip to manage for 3 hours. But there are going to be toll charges on the motorway. And last summer it totaled roughly €22 each way. So you're going to need €44 worth of tolls for your whole trip to France. As a family, we always play a game when we are on our way to Disney to see who can spot the signs for Disney first, because they appear quite early on in the journey from Calais. It's a really fun journey, as the anticipation to get to the parks is the most exciting bit. What is worth mentioning is if you're staying at select off-site hotels or at Disney's Davy Crockett Ranch, you will need a car to get into the parks. So if you're wanting to stay at any of those places, you need to use either the P&O ferry or the Eurotunnel. That's a very important point. Okay, so the next category is travelling by train. So the Eurostar is the most popular way to get to Disney by train. You can get a direct service straight to Disneyland Paris from London St Pancras, Ebbsfleet International and Ashford International. Disneyland Paris has its own train station, and the train drops you off just outside the gates to Disneyland Paris itself. You can book to do the advanced check-in and express luggage services, where a cast member will take your luggage, and it means you don't have to go to your hotel to check in. You can just get off the train and head straight to the parks. So sometimes the direct trains are not running. If it's off-peak periods, if it was in the middle of January you were going, sometimes direct trains to Disney won't be running because it's not cost-effective enough. So at that point you can take a Eurostar train to Lille in France, and then jump on the TGV train, which then goes to the Disney station. Lille is a really small station, so you can't get lost. It's really easy, only 4 platforms. It's not as if you're trying to navigate St Pancras all over again in a different country in a foreign language. It's a really easy train station to try and navigate. The direct Eurostar journey takes about 2 hours and 45 minutes from London St Pancras, and the Lille journey takes any time from 3 hours, because it depends on how long you have to wait for your change and where you are travelling from. So the last trip I went on earlier this year involved me travelling by plane. I've never gone to Disney by plane before. I've been to other countries on a plane, but never to Disney. So I know some people are afraid of flying and it's a big deal for them to get on a train. I know, I meant plane. It's a big deal for people to get on a plane. And personally, I really hate flying, but fear not, the journey lasts about 45 minutes. So by the time you've taken off, you've got about 15 minutes of the seatbelt sign being off before you're landing again. And I'd happily do the journey again as it was super easy. If you add travel through the Disney website, you are offered services from Air France and Flybe, but British Airways and EasyJet also offer services to Paris too. We booked our flights through EasyJet Direct. When we booked through the Disneyland Paris website, we only booked hotel, park tickets, that sort of stuff. We decided to book without transportation and do it ourselves. And our EasyJet flight in January, at a really decent time of day, it was 11 o'clock in the morning was our flight, it was only about £28 per person per way. So it's nice and cheap, there's nothing too scary about travelling on a budget if you want to fly. You can fly from a range of British airports, and you'll fly to either Paris Orly or Paris Charles de Gaulle. You can either get a hire car. I think Hertz is probably the hire car company that are in Orly and Charles de Gaulle. But you can either get a hire car at the airports, or you can book yourself onto a magical shuttle. Now, we booked ourselves onto a magical shuttle when I went in January. The magical shuttle is a paid service that you book onto, and it runs every half an hour. You have to have a ticket. You cannot turn up and jump on the bus. You have to have a paid ticket previously, and you can book that anytime up to 2 days before your travel date. It takes you from the airport straight to the doors of your hotel. So it was really good. We were staying in the Hotel Cheyenne, and it just drops you off at the entrance. You go in and reception is right there for you to check in, so it's really good. Those services only happen if you are staying in a Disney hotel, excluding Davy Crockett Ranch. It does not happen if you're staying at the Davy Crockett Ranch. You can also get an RER train if you are staying in Paris. So if you, for some reason, are in Paris and need to get a train from Paris to Disneyland Paris, the RER A train is the one to get if you're travelling from the capital. Once you are at your Disney hotel and are enjoying your trip, you can take a free shuttle bus from the hotel to the parks each day. It's an unlimited amount of trips. I think the last bus is something like at 11 PM after the fireworks would be. And the earliest one is something like 6 AM. So it runs all day and you have no worries about getting the shuttle bus. Now the furthest hotel away that has the shuttle bus service is the Hotel Cheyenne, and that was about a 20-minute walk. So even if you do miss a bus and you don't want to wait, you can walk because it's only about 20 minutes if you're willing to do that. So the shuttle bus is available for the Disney hotels, not the Davy Crockett Ranch, and not the non-affiliated off-site hotels. So the Disney hotels and some select partner hotels of Disneyland Paris do offer shuttle buses though. Now I do keep saying this doesn't include the Davy Crockett Ranch a lot in this section, and here is why. The Davy Crockett Ranch is a Disney hotel. It is one that if you book through the Disneyland Paris website and you book for the Davy Crockett Ranch, you do get your hotel and your park tickets and everything like that included. It is 100% a Disney hotel. The only difference is it is a self-drive service only. So you don't have hotel rooms, you have chalets, little cabins like you would in somewhere like Center Parcs. But you must drive to your chalet when you first check in from the Davy Crockett reception. The hotel is about a 10-minute drive away from the Disneyland parks, and there's no free shuttle bus service. Normal day trippers to the parks must pay a €20 parking fee to use those facilities, but the Davy Crockett guests get free parking every day that they visit. If they show your hotel pass, they will let you in for free. So it's not an issue. You don't have to pay the €20 for parking just for staying in the Davy Crockett, but you do need a car. If you are taking your car on your holiday, if you're taking the ferry or the Eurotunnel, I would strongly recommend checking out the Davy Crockett because it's a really good Wild Frontier themed hotel. It's got a fantastic pool, and just be aware that you will need your car. There is no other way to get there at all. You need a car. But because of that, the Davy Crockett is actually significantly cheaper at some times of the year than the other Disney hotels, because you're paying for the convenience of having a hotel on site with the other hotels. But with Davy Crockett, you are away and you are in the nature, and it's a really lovely hotel, so it's definitely worth checking out if you want to drive. If not, you have to find a different hotel. So that's everything that I can think of at the moment about travelling to Disneyland Paris. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them underneath. Please find my subscribe button and subscribe to the channel, because there's going to be a lot more videos coming up. Like my Facebook page. I'm on Facebook, as it all started with a blog. And you can find my Instagram and Snapchat links down below as well. I'm still on WordPress. I'm posting a blog every couple of days, sometimes about Disney, sometimes about other things, but there's usually a Disney theme running through it. So you can find me on there as well, at It All Started With a Blog. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and tune in this time next week, next Friday, for the next video. Thank you, have a wonderful week.